There will be two things that grieve my heart, and the third makes me angry. A man of war that suffers poverty, the men of understanding that are not set by, and one that returns from righteousness to sin. The Lord prepares such a one for the sword. A merchant shall hardly keep himself from doing wrong, and a hustler shall not be freed from sin. Many have sinned for a small matter, and he that seeks for abundance will turn his eyes away. As a nail sticks fast between the joinings of the stones, so does sin stick close between buying and selling. Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown. As when one sits with a thief, then refuses remains, so the filth of man is in his talk. The furnace proves the potter's vessels, so the trial of man is in his reasoning. The fruit declares if the tree have been dressed, so is the utterance of a conceit in the heart of man. Praise no man before you hear him speak, for this is the trial of men. If you follow righteousness, you shall obtain her, and put her on as a glorious long robe. The birds will resort to their like, so will truth return to them that practice in her. As the lion lies in wait for the prey, so sin for them that work iniquity. The discourse of a godly man is always with wisdom, but an idiot changes as the moon. If you be among the indiscreet, observe the time, but be continually among men of understanding. The discourse of idiots is irksome, and their sport is the wantonness of sin. The talk of him that swears much makes the hair stand upright, and their brawls make one stop his ears. The strife of the proud is bloodshedding, and their revelings are grievous to the ears. Whoso discovers secrets loses his credit, and shall never find friend to his mind. Love your friend and be faithful to him, but if you betray his secrets, follow no more after him. For as a man has destroyed his enemy, so have you lost the love of your neighbor. As one that lets a bird go out of his hand, so have you let your neighbors go, and shall not get him again. Follow after him no more, for he is too far off. He is as the roe escaped out of the snare. As for a wound, it may be bound up, and after reveling there may be reconciliation. But he that betrays secrets is without hope. Ben Sirach warned against people plotting against others. He understood that those that greet you and admire you very well may be the same ones to stab you in the back. The scribe, who hated many things, hated a backstabber, which he said the master also hates. A backstabber will often suffer the fate he meant for someone else. Just as a man who throws a rock straight up in the air will get hit by it when it comes down, deceitful strokes will cause wounds. The man who digs a pit just might fall into it, same as the man who sets a trap for another. The man who works mischief will suffer unforeseen mischief. The proud who speak mockery and reproach will suffer vengeance in the way that a lion ambushes its prey. They that rejoice over the fall of the righteous will be ensnared and overcome by anguish prior to death. He that revenges will find vengeance from the Lord, who keeps track of sins. A man who bears hatred against another will not be shown mercy or forgiven for his sins. Malice and wrath, even these are abominations, and the sinful man shall have them both. Then Sarah gave a reprimand. Remember your end, and let enmity cease. Remember corruption and death, and abide in the commandments. Remember the commandments, and bear no malice to your neighbor. Remember the covenant of the highest, and wink at ignorance. Note, in today's video, Exodus 23:4-5, Leviticus 19:17-18, Psalm 7:15, 9:15, 35:19, Proverbs 6:13, 10:10, 26:27, and Ecclesiastes 10:8 were referenced.